King Ashoka returns to Buddhism. When the Buddha was still alive, he entrusted the Dharma to kings and ministers so that the Dharma could be spread more widely. King Ashoka was a descendant of King Ajatasattu. His father's name was Chintao Sa, and his mother was a Brahmin. When he was young, his body was very rough and ugly, and he was not loved by his father. When he grew up, he was more outstanding than others. When a rebellion broke out in the city of Huthila, the king sent him to conquer it. When peace was restored, the king saw his contributions and appointed him as crown prince. Not long after, King Chintao Sa passed away and he succeeded to the throne. He was very cruel and killed hundreds of servants, ministers, and relatives. That spring, he took his concubines to enjoy the flower garden. The concubines were busy joking and admiring the beauty of nature. No one gathered around him like they did in the inner palace. The king was furious, ordered everyone to be killed, and immediately returned to the palace, not going to enjoy the garden anymore. The whole country lamented that he was a very wicked king. In addition, he also created a place called Hell on Earth, named Ai Lak Garden. The outside is beautifully decorated with lotus ponds, precious grasses and fragrant flowers, just like a park for people to come and enjoy. But inside, there are mountains of knives, forests of swords, furnaces of fire and oil, and all kinds of instruments to execute people in a gruesome way. Whoever entered the garden of Ai Lak was arrested by the prison guards and then executed. As for the ladies in the palace who quarreled and had conflicts with each other, they were taken to the prison guards to judge. It was truly an indescribable tragedy of human suffering. At that time, there was a monk. While begging for alms in the city of Hothi, because he was not familiar with the roads, he got lost in the garden of Ai Lak. Seeing the beautiful scenery outside, but the hell inside, the monk was terrified and tried to find a way out, but unexpectedly was surrounded and captured by the prison guards. He tried to plead until he cried, but they still did not forgive him. The jailer saw that and asked, "You are a monk. Why are you so afraid of death that you cry like a baby?" The monk replied, "I'm not crying because I'm afraid of dying, but because I'm afraid of losing the benefits of my entire life. That's why I'm so sad." The warden asked curiously, "What are the benefits? Can you explain it to me?" The monk confided, "I have just become a monk and have not yet attained enlightenment. I think that it is difficult to obtain a human body and difficult to encounter the Buddha Dharma. Now that I have unfortunately fallen into this evil place, I'll surely lose my life. How can I continue to practice and study? That is why I cry. I am not afraid of death." After the monk finished speaking, he begged the jailer to forgive him and let him live for 7 days. Then it would not be too late to execute him. The jailer saw that the monk was also moved. So, following the monk's words, he waited 7 days before executing him. On the first day, the monk saw very cruel punishments. Women were thrown into mortar and pounded until their flesh was crushed and their bones were broken. Children were thrown into furnaces, some with their arms and necks pulled back, others with their mouths wide open. Seeing that scene, the monk felt bored and remembered the Buddha's teachings. The gentleness of the skin is like foam. The beauty of the robe is like a cloud of dust, but it never lasts. Thanks to the evidence of the Buddha's teachings, the monk was enlightened, ended all impurities, and immediately attained the fruit of Arhat. On the 8th day, the jailer ordered the teacher to be put in a pan of oil, then piled firewood on it and burned it. But when the fire died down and the wood turned to ashes, the oil in the pan still did not heat up. The jailer saw this and became angry, beat the jailers, then ordered more firewood to be brought and added to the fire. But when he looked in the oil pan again, he saw the monk sitting cross-legged on a lotus flower, still in a natural posture, not moving at all. The jailer was shocked and hurriedly went to report the matter to King Ashoka. When the king heard the news, he immediately went straight to the Ai Lak garden. As soon as he arrived, he saw the monk appear in the sky, performing 18 magical spells. Above him, water was flowing. Below him, fire was burning fiercely, looking like a large mountain in the middle of space. King Ashoka stood there, stunned for a long time, then thought to himself, "This monk and I are both human beings. Why does he have such supernatural powers while I am busy killing people and doing great evil?" The king thought so. So he quickly knelt down and said to that monk, "I hope the Holy One will take care of me and come down here. From now on, I vow to abandon evil and do good and take refuge in you," the monk replied. Wonderful, wonderful. Now that the great king has repented and taken refuge in the 3 jewels, he will receive immeasurable blessings. What a great joy it will be for the people. After the monk finished speaking, he used his supernatural powers to return to the monastery. When King Ashoka had taken refuge in the Buddha, he was filled with joy and was preparing to return to the palace. Suddenly, the prison warden came and reported, when the great king created this hell on earth, he ordered that no one who entered would be allowed to leave. I have already lived, so I dare not argue. The great king is a celestial being. He must also keep his word. Hearing the jailer say that, King Ashoka asked, "According to what you said, do you want to kill me now?" The jailer replied, as the king said, it is in accordance with military orders. King Ashoka immediately asked the jailer, "So when we first created this AI lac garden, who came here first, you or me?" The jailer said, "Your Majesty, I came here first." Upon hearing this reply, the king immediately ordered the jailer to arrest the jailer and put him in a pan of oil. At the same time, he ordered the entire AI lac garden to be burned down. From then on, the king abandoned all evil and did good deeds. His nature was extremely compassionate, so people praised him as Bodhidharma Ashoka. Later, thanks to the teachings of Upa Kukda, the king believed in Buddhism even more. He himself sent 256 eminent monks throughout the country to spread Buddhism. Lesson for us. Compassion is the source of happiness.